Hey guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are watching season 1, episode 2 of Lost. This is part 2 of the pilot of the entire show, and I am very excited to get into it after watching the first episode, aka part 1 of the pilot. I don't know what I was expecting fully going into Lost. I think I just kind of expected that there were people who got trapped on a desert island and the show was just going to be about how they survived, right? I wasn't expecting any sort of mystery elements or possible giant creatures or anything like that. So I'm very intrigued to try to figure out what that is and what's going on, right? Is there a giant gas leak? Natural gas, I guess it would have to be, right? Maybe the plane fuel fucked everybody up and so they're all hallucinating this. I don't know. Maybe there's a giant creature. Maybe this is a supernatural show. I honestly have no idea, and I think that's half the fun, is when you have no idea what's going on and you're just kind of diving headfirst in and trying to figure it out. So I look forward to that. So far, I really like Jack, the main character, or he seems to be set up to be the main character so far. So I like him, and I'm interested in all the characters and the stories. I've already been informed by my editor that I got a person's name wrong in the last episode. For some reason, someone's name is Shannon, and I thought their name was Jenna. So how I got that, I don't even know, you guys. No clue. But yeah, I am going to try to pay more attention when they give out names now. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. The only sort of thing that I forgot to mention in the first episode that I did notice, that's probably not even worth note, but I'll note it anyway, is that in the flashback that Jack had where he was remembering what he could before the plane went down, he opened the bottle of vodka and drank it. Yet when we first see him in the episode, it's in his pocket and it was unopened, and we don't see in the crash him getting another little bottle of that. So I don't know if I'm supposed to notice that. I did, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be paying that close of attention or not. So we'll see. I'm curious if it's supposed to be indicative of him not remembering correctly or something to that effect. Maybe the plane fuel is affecting him or them, or who knows. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling because there's very little for me to ramble about. The show has barely started, but I cannot wait to get to more. So let me shut up and let's just watch this episode.
Every track needs a coward.
I'm not a coward.
I mean, to be fair, we know nothing about him. He could be. Okay. Oh, maybe he's smuggling something? Does he have illegal items on him? So he did have something. I just want to say once again, this is nightmare fuel for someone who is already nervous to fly like me. Is she just sunbathing? I mean, why not? She thinks they're about to get rescued, so.
You're wasting your time. They're coming.
Is that your boyfriend?
I mean, I would still want to help.
My brother.
Ah.
Boone. God's friggin' gift to humanity.
She's so pretty.
I haven't felt the baby move since yesterday.
Oh no. That's not great. I mean, you were in a whole ass plane crash. I really want to know their story. Who are they? How do they know each other?
단추가 열렸네. 채워라.
Is he telling her to
빨리.
button up her thing? You cannot see anything, sir. It's also hot. They're on a fucking island.
Sorry.
Oh, he's looking for the doggo.
Vincent!
What? What does he see? That's weird. Was there a criminal on the plane, or just some kinky people? Okay.
Hey guys, come on.
What the? What?
Hey,
Why are you fighting?
break it up! Break it up! Get off! Hey, come on, break it! Bitch! Come on, let's go! That's it! It's over! Come on! That's it! Think of this redneck! You want some more, me, boy?
Oh.
Tell everyone what you told me! Tell them that I crashed the plane! Go on! Tell them I made the plane crash! Buddy! What is going on?
Is he just being
What's going on?
racist?
Look, my kid found these in the jungle. And this guy was sitting in the back row of business class the whole flight, never got up.
So?
Hands folded underneath the blanket. And for some reason, just pointing this out, the guy I saw next to him didn't make it.
so much for observing my behavior.
You don't think I saw him pull you out of line before we boarded? Get off! Come on, bring it!
Stop! Found the transceiver, but it's not working. Can anybody help?
I might be able to.
Oh, great, perfect. Let's trust this guy.
Hey,
Well, he would want to get off of the island
Let's
too.
treat each other with a little respect.
Shut up, Bardo.
Hey!
I do not like him so far.
Whatever you say, Doc. You're the hero.
What have you contributed, sir? Nothing.
You're okay. I like you.
You're okay too.
Hurley. Oh,
Hurley.
Said.
Said, I think.
how do you know how to do all that?
I was a military communications officer.
Oh, yeah? You ever see battle?
I fought in the Gulf War.
No way. I got a buddy who fought over there. He was in the 104th Airborne. Who are you, Air Force? Army?
The Republican Guard.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna assume maybe it means that he was not fighting on the United States side. I don't know.
Seeing if we can get a signal from high ground.
How high?
That's pretty high. It keeps going.
Saeed fixed the transceiver, but we can't use it. Not from here.
Kate, wait a
You're
minute.
the one who said that we had to send out a signal.
Look, you saw what that thing did to the pilot.
Yeah, I did. What makes you think we're any safer here than we are in the jungle?
It's a valid point.
Wait for me. I don't know how long this
Saeed
will
said the
take.
battery won't last.
Can you not like turn it off to preserve the battery? I don't know how these
If you
things work.
see or hear anything,
Run?
run.
I mean, yeah, like what else could you do? Hide?
What, that? 나 먹으면 힘이 날 거예요. 괜찮아요, 먹어도.
What, eat that?
잡수도 돼요. 우리 모두에게 충분합니다. 하나 먹어.
Dude, I'm starving.
예.
I'm nowhere near that hungry.
No, thank you.
No way, no.
He's like, I'm good, thanks.
Tell you what, we get home, I'll get you another dog.
What about our dog that we have?
Since the crash, you've actually given yourself a pedicure.
You know what? It is so easy to make fun
You know, I
of
wish
me,
I didn't
and
have
you're
to
good
waste
at
my
it.
time
I get
making
it.
fun of you. And I wish I didn't have a reason. Yeah, and it is easy, Shannon.
Screw you. You do not have the slightest
I have
idea
a much better
what
idea
I am
than you
thinking.
think I
no,
do.
you don't.
Okay, Shannon. Then what are you thinking?
I'm going with them. On the hike.
Shannon!
I'd like to come with you. You're going, are you?
Yeah, are you?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely going.
Look, everybody can come, but we're leaving now.
You couldn't tell from that, but she's actually really nice.
Interesting. So there's a family dynamic between the brother and sister that we're learning about. He seems to be older, maybe. Maybe he was the one that had like the responsibility and she was the one that didn't. I mean, I don't know. So far you've been a dick, bro. So like, open to learning more about you that's less dickish.
You decided to join us.
I'm a complex guy, sweetheart.
Well, that was not less dickish, you know. Kind of just on par. Also, that's gorgeous. God. Okay. Surely there's a way around. Maybe you don't just have to go straight up. This seems, you know, slightly not the safest.
Walt's more worried about his dog than anything.
Walt?
The dog was on the plane, so... Kids, you know.
He's at a lab?
Yeah.
Yeah? I saw him yesterday in the jungle.
What? Where?
Over there. A couple 100 yards in or so. He looked good.
Oh, straight razor, it looks like. That'll do. Who is this guy? He intrigues me. Maybe he's the prisoner. Assuming that that's what the handcuffs
What
mean.
is it, like checkers?
Not really. It's a better game than checkers.
I live in Australia with my mom.
So they don't know each other very well.
She got sick. She died a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. Poor kid.
You're having a bad month.
I guess.
Hell yeah.
Backgammon's the oldest game in the world.
I've never played it.
Archaeologists found sets when they excavated the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia. 5,000 years old. That's older than Jesus Christ.
Did they have dice and stuff?
But theirs weren't made of plastic. Their dice were made of bones.
Cool.
2 players, 2 sides. One is light, one is dark. Walt. Do you want to know a secret?
I don't know, sir.
이걸 한 개예요. 한번 드셔보세요.
No, thank you. No, it's fine.
하필이 당신에게는 이걸 먹어야 해요. 그 애기 때문에
No.
하나만 드세요. 드세요. 드세요.
Okay. Thanks.
이거 이거 한번 먹어보세요. 예. 그래, 맛있죠? 하나 더 먹어요.
Is her baby moving?
God.
왜요, 뭐 괜찮아요?
I just felt it.
Yay, that's good.
Come here, feel this.
아니요, 싫어요. 하지 마세요. 너 싫어요. 아니요, 싫어요.
Do you feel that?
Oh.
Right there, that's a kick.
앉으세요.
Hey! I guess I think you're a he.
She seems sweet. I hope that she'll be okay.
Just check the damn radio.
Why just check? We might not have any juice left when we get to...
What was that?
Oh my god.
What the hell's that?
Well, yeah, that's what, guys.
Someone's coming.
There's a gun? Bear?
That's a big bear.
You think that's what killed the pilot?
No. No, that's a tiny, teeny version compared to that.
Guys, this isn't just a bear.
What do you mean?
It's a polar bear.
That's what I thought. Because it looked white. Why the fuck would there be a polar bear on a desert island?
Hey, guy, you awake? Yo, there's a rescue plane. We're saved. Yay!
Yeah, he's out.
Why is the guy has legs crossed?
Dude. Hand me those strips. Dude. Just hand me the strips. I need to get this bleeding stopped.
I don't think I can. Oh, what's going on?
The strips. Just hand me the strips. Give it to me. Hey, don't even think about it, Hurley. Don't even think. Hurley,
Yep.
Hey! Damn it!
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
That can't be a polar bear.
It's
a polar bear.
Wait a minute. People don't carry guns on planes.
They do if they're a U.S. Marshal, sweet cheeks. There was one on the plane.
How do you know that?
Saw a guy lying there with an ankle holster, so I took the gun. Thought it might come in handy. Guess what? I just shot a bear.
Ooh.
Does anybody know how to use a gun?
Just pull the trigger.
Don't use the gun.
You have to have the safety
I
off.
want to take it apart.
But also, don't
Hold the grip.
shoot
Pull the top out of the
him.
gun.
I don't like him, but
I know your type.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Good with girls like you.
all right, creep.
My girl's exactly like me.
No, he's still giving dick. I wonder what her story is.
Cocktail? Soda?
Just coffee, sweetheart. Black.
Azazel!
Coffee, sure.
If you've seen Supernatural, you get that.
You look worried.
Who is he?
I'd be worried too, I was you.
Maybe she's the prisoner.
But you gotta stay positive, kiddo. You know, there's always that off chance that they'll believe your story.
Ooh,
I know I sure do.
she is the prisoner.
I don't care what you believe.
Oh, I know that's true.
He's the U.S. Marshal.
That has always been true. You sure you don't want some more juice?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep. Wonder what her story was.
This ought to be good.
Oh my god. Unlocking new fears. Great. I could really do without these graphic details of the plane going down. Oh, it's him. I didn't even connect the dots. I wonder wonder if he'll tell him.
Oh, now's a good time to check the radio. Not before, but now.
Well, you're on the side of a mountain
yes,
now.
We are.
Hey! We've got a bomb! Mayday! Mayday!
What is that?
Feedback.
Feedback from what? What would do that?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what would do that. This guy not fixing the radio. The thing doesn't even work.
No, it's probably...
No. It's not broken. We can't transmit because something else is already transmitting.
Transmitting from where?
What?
Somewhere close. The signal's strong.
Somewhere close. You mean on the island? That's great.
Maybe it's other survivors.
From our plane? How would
What
they
kind
even...
of transmission is
It could be a sat phone, maybe a radio signal.
Can we listen to it?
Let me get the frequency first. Hold on.
it? There's no transmission.
Shut up!
The rescue party. It has to be.
I don't think so.
It's French! The French are coming! I've never been so happy to hear the French!
I never took French. What is she saying?
Does
Yeah,
anyone speak French? She does.
No, I don't. What?
What the hell are you talking about? You spent a year in Paris!
Drinking, not studying.
Iteration 72945
Okay, what's that?
Oh, no.
What?
The
What?
batteries are dying.
How much time do we have?
Not much.
I've heard you speak French. Just listen to this.
I
Listen to it.
can't!
You speak French or not? Because that would be nice.
It's
repeating.
Well, it's changed.
She's right.
What?
It's a loop. Iteration. It's repeating the same message. It's a counter. The next number will end
with 3.
533.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what the hell he's talking about?
It's a running count of the number of times the message is repeated.
Oh.
They're dead. It killed them. It killed them all.
What was the last thing?
That was good.
16 years.
That's how many iterations
16 years.
is
And 5 months. That's the count.
1, 7,
What the
2,
hell are you
9,
talking
4,
about?
5,
The
3, 3.
iterations.
The last one.
It's a distress call. Plea for help, a mayday. If the count is right, it's been playing over and over for 16 years.
And 5 months.
Someone else stranded here?
Well, if nobody found them and
Maybe they came for them.
16.
Someone came. Why is it still playing?
Maybe they just didn't know to shut it off.
Guys. Where are we?
We don't know. I had a feeling that was going to be the end, but also I really did not want it to be. All right, so that was a really, really good episode. I am even more excited now to delve into this show and keep watching it and figuring things out and getting to know these characters. I really liked getting to know a little bit more backstory for Kate and Charlie and even like Shannon and maybe Owen. I'm not really sure. Actually, I could probably go back and re-listen to that and see if I can catch his name. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to know more about all of these characters and to keep figuring them out. It's really fun. Hold on, I'm gonna go see if I can hear Ian Somerhalder's name. Boone. Okay, not Owen, but at least Boone is closer to Owen than Jenna is to Shannon. We got a lot more background on a lot of the characters, so that's very exciting. I love learning about characters and trying to figure them out. So first, sorry, I'm trying not to cough. First, we saw Charlie, and we discovered that he had drugs on him when he was in the plane, which I don't think is like super surprising because we learned in the last episode that he is like kind of like a rock star or part of a band or something like that. And I think that it's not, I won't say a foregone conclusion, but a lot of people that exist in that space and live in that world have dabbled in drugs or, you know, do drugs. So I don't know. I definitely think it adds dimension to his character, and I want to find out more about his backstory and, you know, where he's going to go from here. I do worry because he does have a limited supply left, and I'm not exactly sure like the level of drug that it is because I didn't recognize it. So like I don't know that many drugs to be honest. So I'm curious if it's going to be like a withdrawal situation, if it's going to be like that sort of storyline for him going forward. But yeah, I really like his character so far. I really want to know more about him. He seems like a decent guy. So I'm definitely curious to find out more. We also saw a little bit from Kate in this episode, who actually, like, in this episode, I'm liking a lot more than the previous episode. I think just because we're actually getting to see more of her. Whereas the first episode, like, they showed her, right? And we had some moments, but we kind of really focused more on Jack and his story. And this episode is shifting away from him and showing a few more other stories, right? So, oh, thank you. Sorry, my watch was trying to talk to me a little bit, I think. But, yeah, so I would not have expected that she would have been the prisoner. But I'm very curious as to, like, what her crime was. I feel like there's definitely the possibility that it was A, like, justified, or B, that, like, there's gonna be some sort of explanation that we're gonna understand, because she doesn't seem to be just like an outright shitty person, right? Like, she seems to care for people, she seems to have empathy, she seems to like try to get shit done. So I don't know, I feel like whatever her backstory reveals, either we'll understand it from her perspective, or there will be like a she grew and changed and is a different person because of it. Like, yeah, so I don't know. Obviously I don't know anything about her backstory yet, so I don't know why I feel so confident to say that, but she doesn't give me like the vibe that she's shitty, you know? So I'm just gonna go with that. I think I'm gonna like her a lot. So yeah, we'll see. I also think that it's cool that it's kind of like subverting your subverting your expectations, because you kind of might assume that like the guy who's being a dick and has the gun and shoots the polar bear, and I don't know what his name is, the blonde guy, I'm sure I'll learn his name soon, but you kind of assume that maybe he is the prisoner, or that the prisoner is somebody who died, or just like you don't expect it to have been her. So I think that it's cool that it was her, and like I'm interested to learn more about her backstory. I'm also interested in the blonde guy, even though so far consistently he's only been a dick. You know, like that's kind of all we've seen from him so far. I feel like there could be more to him than that. Like, what was in the letter? Like, I don't know. Like, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. So, like, so far, my opinion of him is that he's a dick, as I have said many times. But I don't know. I don't know his whole story yet. So I want to give him the opportunity to have hidden depths, right? Also, the Daniel Day Kim's character. Like, I don't know about him yet. Like, I want to, like, he's trying to help people. He's trying to give them food. Like, he seems to maybe not be like, he's kind of been dickish too so far, at least to the woman that he's with, who we don't really know the relation. But I'm curious if, like, he will also have hidden depths, right? Because, like, I don't know. I think that, like, obviously the characters are gonna have to, like, there will be characters you root for, characters you root against, like, all of that stuff, because that's just a well-rounded narrative, yeah? But I think that I have hope that even the characters that, like, I don't understand yet, maybe I won't root against, but I will, like, be able to, they'll have dimension, yeah? Like, they'll be multi-dimensional characters, so, like, even if they are a dick, maybe they have some redeeming qualities, you know? So, also, I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like Daniel Dae Kim's character, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to have subtitles and know what they're saying in those scenes, or if I'm not. So, let me check and turn the subtitles on really quick and see. Okay, so I turned the subtitles on, and it's still doesn't show, like, what they're saying. So I assume that I'm not supposed to know what they're saying. I'm supposed to just gather based off of their interactions, and at some point we'll find out what they're saying. Because I think that, like, in the previous episode, when we were supposed to know what they were saying, there was, like, subtitles. So you guys can let me know if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, I'm really curious as to what Daniel Dae Kim and the woman with him, what their relation is to each other, and, like, what's going on there. Because they have a really weird dynamic that seems very, like, he just tells her what to do and she has to listen, even though she seems, like, kind of timid and skittish and nervous. And so I'm not sure if, like, I really have no idea what the dynamic is supposed to be. Like, are they supposed to be a couple where he's very, like, abusive and domineering? Are they supposed to be siblings where he's, like, he feels very protective of her because it's, like, a cultural thing maybe that I'm just not getting? Yeah. So obviously right now I don't have the answer to those questions, but I think that him going around and trying to give people the fish was, like, maybe an act of kindness, but he also, like, slapped her hand away and wouldn't let her take any, which is kind of shitty. So, like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about him, and I don't know how I do feel about him. So we're just gonna have to see going forward. We also saw a little bit about the dad, whose name I don't know, and his son Walt, and we learned a little bit about their dynamic. And, like, I think it's gonna be interesting to see them interact, because it definitely seems like, based off what Walt said to the bald man, that they are father and son, but they haven't spent a significant amount of time together in, like, a minute. It seems like the boy was with his mom and then she died, and then it seems like the dad maybe got custody. And I'm assuming we'll learn more about, like, how, like, their history and how that came to be, and, like, why maybe the mom just moved too much for the dad to keep up. Like, I don't really know what that dynamic is going to be, but I'm interested to see what their dynamic is going to be going forward. You can't see him because he's right off screen, but here he is with his little craziness. Yeah, but I'm interested to see what their dynamic is. And also, like, the little boy, Walt, I think is his name, he wants to find his dog Vincent, I believe, the golden lab, and the dad assumed that the dog was dead, but as we know, the dog is alive. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. And then also I'm curious to see how their relationship develops, but also the Walt's relationship with the bald man who's playing backgammon. And, like, who he is, because I thought he might have been the prisoner just because he has like off vibes. I'm not really sure. Like when he's like, do you want to know a secret? All of a sudden I was like, I don't know. Like I kind of unsure. Like what is your secret? And do I want to know it? Because I don't know. We also discovered that the one guy's name is Hurley. He seems nice, and I hope that him and like Saheed have a fun relationship in the show. I don't know what it means that Saheed was part of the Republican Guard. Like I like Hurley made a face like that meant something to him, and I'm like, does it mean that he was, you know, fighting against the United States? Does it mean that he's like, I don't know what it means. Maybe it means like he's an elite part of the military. Maybe like it's just something I don't know what it means. Like I don't know if I should look it up and try to like discover. Like maybe I should. Here, let me look it up real quick, and hopefully there's no spoilers. But okay, so according to this, it's formerly Iraq's elite military unit. Okay, so Iraqi Republican Guard was a branch of the military from 1969 to 2003. Maybe that's common knowledge and I'm dumb. Maybe it was more common knowledge at the time that Lost aired. But yeah, so apparently that means he was in the Iraqi military, right? So yeah, it is kind of what I was assuming that Hurley's face meant when he heard the news. So I don't know. I think that there is nuance to war. I think that obviously at this time, I think it would have been a lot more of like to people, especially like, you know, this was only 3 years after September 11th. This was during, you know, the war was still happening, and tensions were, I think, a lot higher than they are now. And I think that people's ability to sort of understand that there's good and bad on both sides in a war was maybe a little bit less, because, you know, patriotism was a lot, you know, higher at this particular time. And yeah, so I'm really curious as to what the reception to Saheed might have been during this time, but also I'm interested to like see what the reception is in the show, and maybe the way that they will be able to subvert expectations and sort of show that he is like a fully fleshed human separate from maybe his role in that military, and that maybe there will be a desire or a storyline where they try to show that there just is so much complexity on both sides in a war, right? Like there's obvious good guys and obvious bad guys, but there's also like so many people in between, and often soldiers are those people in between because they're kind of just doing what they're told. And I don't know, there's a lot of nuance to it. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm sure that they'll get into it more on the show at some point, and maybe I'll talk about it. But I also am completely a civilian. I just feel like, I don't know, everybody who is fighting in a war, like there's a lot of nuance to it, right? And I just think that just because somebody comes from the quote unquote other side doesn't mean that they're a horrible person, right? So I'm curious to see that storyline play out. Okay, we also met them in the last episode, but we got to learn a little bit more about Boone and Shannon, who we learned are siblings. I kind of thought that they were dating like the one girl, the blonde girl, thought they were dating. And yeah, apparently they are siblings, which now that we've seen more of their interactions makes total sense. It very much gives sibling energy. There also seems to be, like, obviously we're seeing the family dynamic between them when they fought, and it kind of seemed like maybe Boone is the older brother, or at least if he's not the older brother, because he was the brother, he might have been given more of the responsibility of the family, and Shannon might have been allowed to be a bit more frivolous and have fun. It seems like they come from a wealthy family. I don't know that for sure, but they also just said that she spent like a year in Paris, so that kind of leads to that, as well as the fact that it appeared to be in first class. Yeah, so I'm curious to know more about their dynamic. I do also think that she brought up a good point when they had their argument of, like, I've been through a trauma, and he's like, you know, we've all been through a trauma, which is very true. This is a traumatic event. This would, even if you got rescued like the next day, a couple days later, this would be something that would stick with you, right? Like a plane crash on an island where you didn't know if you were going to get rescued, you didn't know where you were, like, even if you got rescued like 2 days later, would be very traumatic event to happen in your life. So I think that there is a lot of validity to that, and I also think that him saying, like, we've all been through a trauma, like, other people are helping, is fair, but also isn't fair at the same time, because two people are not going to react to a trauma the same way, right? Like, no two people are. So honestly, I think that all of them are reacting very level-headed so far to what I think is like a horrifically traumatic event. Now that they know what they know at the end, they might start panicking a bit more, you know. But yeah, so far I think that they like, the trauma has probably not sunk in. They probably all have some level of shock going on. And yeah, now that we know the end, which is that they found a distress signal, which had been playing for 16 years, 5 months, which kind of, you know, signals, at least to them at the end, that there might not be anybody coming and nobody might ever find them. Which, honestly, when the pilot said that they were like 1,000 miles off course in the last episode, it's already like, yeah, people might not find you. They're probably not going to look 1,000 miles away, especially when you're over the ocean. They're probably just going to, like, assume that you crashed in the ocean, and they'll make an effort. But 1,000 miles off course, like, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And apparently they're not the first people on the island. Like, how did all the other people that whoever the French lady was with died? Like, did they die in the crash, assuming that they crashed? Or was it something else that killed them? Also, like, why the fuck is there a polar bear on a tropical looking island? You know, like, that's, as Shannon said, like, not really their habitat, not really where you expect to see a polar bear. So that's very weird and concerning, clearly. 16 years. I wonder if it would be really interesting if we, at some point, meet that person and she has managed to survive on this island for 16 years, 5 months. Also, it's such a small thing, but if you've watched Supernatural, it was fun to see Azazel as, like, the U.S. Marshal. Obviously, this is before Supernatural, so he was this first. So I guess if you watched this and then you watched Supernatural, you would probably be like, oh, weird, the U.S. Marshal guy is Azazel. But yeah, it really has no relevance, so I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. But my fellow Supernatural fans, I'm sure that you will be like, oh, that's fun. It's always a fun game to play, like, this actor was on Supernatural. Oh, the blonde girl who's pregnant, her baby moved, so that is good news. I'm glad that he or she is still kicking. But yeah, I think that that's all that I really wanted to say about this episode. As I'm sure you can tell by my rambling, I am very much all in. Like, I want to know all of the tea. I want to know all the gossip. Like, I want to know these characters and their inner thoughts and their lives and where they're going from here. So, yeah. Thank you guys, as always, so much for joining me. If you want, you can watch the next episode right now over on Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube, that will be linked in the description down below. While you're over there, you can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode, watch-along style, as well as the pilot, and in the future, all the episodes of Lost at some point, right? So that is over on Patreon as well. Once again, it is in the description down below. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope to see you guys next week for more Lost. Until then, bye guys. Also, now that I'm feeling better, I'm like, can I just binge it? Can I just binge it?